Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Carly's, she and Brennan toast with champagne, which Carly notes is the same bone they had in Germany. They also partake a passionate kiss. They're intruded when Donna cries out for her mama. Carly brings Donna out, and she explains that she had a bad dream. Donna wonders why they've bad dreams. Brennan tells her that dreams are pictures their smarts show them when they sleep, and when we've bad bones. It means commodity is bothering us. She wonders how he knows so important. Brennan explains that he studied psychology as part of his job. Carly ultimately sends Donna to bed when their discussion turns to spying. Brennan also gets a textbook that makes him unhappy. Carly returns from putting Donna to sleep, and Jack tells her Commodity came up with work, and he has to go. They agree to pick this up another time and kiss. At Bobby's, Joss calls Hunter to take over her shift, as she has Commodity important to do. Gio and Emma show up, and Emma hopes to get a many twinkles of Joss time. Emma asks Joss to join her association against beast atrocity. Joss is interested, but defenses herself to deal with a client. Joss returns to Emma and Gio, and Emma wants Joss to be in coach for the benefit for the pupil council and give a speech. Joss says she doesn't have the time and is going through a lot right now, but she'll have her family contribute. Emma says she could really make a difference, as she's connected to so numerous important families in Port Charles. Joss says if she can help, she will, but right now, she's going through a lot. Gio apologizes for ambuscading her at work. Joss ends up leaving, and Gio tells Emma her approach really needs some work. Still, he loves how passionate is about the effects she cares about, and admits he enjoys her company. Dante runs into Chase at Bobby's. It turns out Brooke Lynn had to run off because there was an extremity at Deception. They snare a table and talk about Chase's performance at the Savoy. Dante can see Commodity is disquieting Chase, and Chase admits he can't give his woman the one thing she wants. Chase confesses that he can't give Brooke Lynn a family. Dante doesn't know if he wants to hear this, but there's further than one way to have a family. Chase knows, and he wants Brooke Lynn to be a mama, and he wants to be a pater. Still, they're still dealing with this news. Dante says for what it's worth, he thinks he'll be a great pater. Chase decides he should get home to Brooke Lynn and departs. At Deception, Lulu is dealing with an irate frequenter when Brooke Lynn arrives to take over. She deals with the call and also scolds Lulu for bothering her when Maxie could have dealt with this. Lulu didn't want to ruin Maxie and Spinelli's first Valentine's Day back together. Brooke Lynn smothers, "So you ruined mine?" Brooke Lynn tells Lulu if she paid attention at this job, she'd know how effects work and how to handle worried guests. She can't go calling guests illogical and intolerant, which had the frequenter indeed more worried than why they called, which was due to a plutocrat transfer not going through. Lulu switches out at Brooke Lynn for intruding up astronomically throughout her life, and in the end, she has a perfect life, a perfect job she doesn't earn, a perfect hubby who she'll have perfect kitties with, and if she's not getting what she wants, it's her own fault. Suddenly, Dante shows up and asks what's going on. Brooke Lynn says she's out of then, and Lulu is all Dante's. He lets her know he ran into Chase, who's on his way home. Dante questions Lulu about what she said to Brooke Lynn. She says only what she merited, and rehashes her words. He says she needs to lighten up on BLQ, and there are effects going on she doesn't understand. Lulu complains that Brooke Lynn's life is heaven, compared to hers right now. Dante says that's not the case, and to cut her some slack. Lulu presses him as to why she should, so Dante reveals Chase and Brooke Lynn set about they can't have kitties. At the Savoy, Brad and Lucas sit at the bar, and Brad assumes this isn't how Lucas planned to celebrate the day. Portia tells Curtis how great this night has been when suddenly, Drew and Willow arrive. Curtis calls this a massive show of discourteousness. Portia doesn't understand how Willow can't see what a lousy Joe Drew is. Portia suggests he not ruin the night by fighting with Drew. Willow and Drew get a table and spot Brad and Lucas at the bar. Willow wonders why Lucas is with Brad on Valentine's Day. At the bar, Brad feels he's getting the stink eye from Willow, which is commodity, given she's on a date with her hubby's uncle. Lucas says it's not their problem. Curtis tells Nneka that Congressman Quartermain will no longer be 8 then in the future, and he'll take care of him for the night. Back at their table, Willow can't believe Lucas is with Brad, given what Brad did to Lucas and Wiley. She also complains about how Lucas was rude to her on Christmas. Suddenly, Curtis interrupts and tells Drew that he doesn't want him then. Brad and Lucas talk about how hard it's to be judged, and Lucas notes Willow doesn't look so happy for someone in love. Brad can understand, as Willow has guilt, and whether you earn it or not, lonely is lonely. Meanwhile, Curtis tells Drew he's not drink then, which Drew can't believe. Curtis says he's just playing Drew's game now. Drew says they'll take their business away. Drew returns to Willow and says they're leaving, which she was awaiting, but he says he has a better surprise for her. Portia checks in on Brad and asks if he's having a good Valentine's Day. He says he is, and Portia says she'll see him at work. She returns to Curtis and tells him that she's going to put all this bad stuff with Brad behind her and concentrate on him and what's good. Drew takes Willow to his new house and says Maxie helped him with the decor. He hopes she likes it. She loves it. He says it's not just a home for him and Scout but also for her and their kitties. He asks her to move in with him. At Liz's house, Cyrus appears at her door and tells Liz they've to talk. It's critical, and this can't stay. Cyrus barges in, and she tells him that he's making her uncomfortable. He assumes she'd be agitated to see him, as she's been asking around about him. He's giving her the occasion to ask her questions to his face. Liz says she's tired, but he wouldn't leave until they bandy why she's asking so numerous questions about him at Turning Woods and GH. Liz starts at the morning and asks, "Why did you try to kill Lulu?" Cyrus says Lulu was in a coma with no stopgap, and as a nanny, she has seen people hooked up to machines with no chance at recovering. Liz has seen families have to make the hard choice to take their family off life support, and in the end, it's a gift. She gets it now, Lulu is his family, and he wanted to end her pain. Liz asks, "But what about the others?" Cyrus cries that in God's eyes, they're all family, and he was given the capability to free these trapped souls. He cries that Lulu was entitled to the beauty of heaven, and her family was letting her stay in that coma, and slightly visited her. Liz asks, "So that's why you turned off her ventilator?" He says no, that was important laterally. Cyrus says he picked the wrong drug for Lulu originally, and it made her liver fail and drew attention to his work. Liz says she understands Lulu and the others, but why Sam? He explains Sam's donation got in the way of the Lord's will, and there was no telling if it would work. Killing her was the consequence of her snooping in God's plan. He says in freeing Sam, he learned about digitalis, which is quick and effortless. He to continue his work, and no bone. Knew the Lord would return Lulu to them. Liz also asks why Dex? Cyrus says Dex saw him near Sam's room, and Dex nearly killed him formerly on Sonny's orders. He'd forgiven Dex for that long agone. And insists that there was no malignancy in his heart towards Officer Heller. We also see a flashback, Cyrus visiting Dex's body in the morgue and removing his sanitarium band. Cyrus tells Liz he'd to remove Dex for the charge to continue. Liz realizes that's why he also wanted to free Michael, because he was in pain. She also knows about his mama, and Cyrus says Martin wouldn't let him set her free, and he keeps her trapped in a bed and suffering. Liz tells him that she sees what he's doing is just another type of mending. Cyrus thanks her for understanding his charge. Cyrus says nothing must peril the charge, so he's sorry, but must do this. He pulls out a hype. As she cries, "No, there must be another way." Suddenly, Lucky bursts in and riots, "Get down from her." Cyrus says this works out impeccably as he doesn't have to come to find his whoreson next. He charges Lucky, and they fight as Cyrus tries to fit him. Liz calls 911 as Lucky knocks Cyrus out. Suddenly, she sees that Lucky has been fitted in his leg. In the final moments, Joss breaks into Austin's cabin, where Cyrus has been hiding out and begins looking around.